In this video, I'll show you how to use debt to generate passive income. It may appear to be a scam to others. How can debt ever be beneficial? What comes to mind when you hear the word debt? Probably something negative, such as your student loan. How much money did you borrow for college? $20,000, $50,000, or possibly $100,000. If you went to the Ivy League, it's discouraging to see that figure rise as you're barely making enough to pay your bills before the bank hands you $100,000 to attend college. Everyone told you that if you went to college and earned good marks, you'd have a job that would pay for everything. But here you are, at the end, barely finding this job. And now some random online person is about to tell you how to make money from debt. Debt, as phony as it may appear, is what keeps the world running. It's not money. It is not the politician or Wall Street. Everything is financed by debt. Whoever knows how to use that debt wisely not only makes a lot of money, but also rules the globe. These debtors aren't just making a few $1,000s a year. They are earning billions of dollars. But what we want to focus on is how to make money with debt, how to leverage it to generate passive income, and how to turn your debt into an asset that will always provide revenue. Give this video a thumbs up if you're ready, and let's get started. Here's a simple question. Why would somebody give you millions of dollars when they could spend it on themselves? Why are they wasting their time on you? Let me reveal a little secret to you. You have no idea how wealthy they are in the globe. Believe me, the quantity of riches in the world is incomprehensible. There are persons who have offshore accounts worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Officially, there are roughly 1,000 people in the United States with a net worth of at least $1 billion and 3,311 billionaires globally. And this is only the official figure. Nobody knows your figures, and no one has access to your financial statements if you run a private corporation. You could be earning hundreds of millions of dollars per year, and no one knows, making you one of these covered billionaires. Every day, this tremendous wealth is stashed in offshore accounts, and inflation is devouring it. Apple alone has more than $200 billion in cash in overseas accounts. So, if you can come up with a means to say, you will borrow this money, use it effectively, and give it back 2 or 3% above the inflation rate, that would be great. They will gladly give you the money. That's all there is to it. Inflation is currently about 7, 8, or 9%, while it is generally around 2 to 3%. So any profit above 5% is enormous. Let me show you how wealthy people use debt to make a lot of money. When you think of Starbucks, you probably think of a company that sells coffee. That is what they want you to believe. Starbucks is where you go for your daily latte. But supposing I told you that Starbucks is really a bank. It's a bank like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, or Citibank. If you are a dedicated customer of Starbucks, you most likely have the Starbucks app downloaded on your mobile device. When you pay for your daily caramel latte, you most likely use the app to pay for it because it allows you to accumulate points, which, contrary to what they would like you to believe, can eventually be redeemed for a free cup of coffee. Making a cup of coffee is inexpensive. Starbucks charges around $6 to $7 for a venti frappuccino. However, the actual cause is pennies. So giving you a free coffee once a month because you buy coffee from them every day is nothing. Most essential, you keep your money in their wallets in order to get these points. Users had a total balance of $1.5 billion by the end of 2021. $1.5 billion may not appear to be a large sum of money, but it is more than most banks have in the United States. Starbucks is free to do whatever they want with the money. More stores that have invested in real estate are expanding their operations to cover the entire globe. I invested in S&P 500 trade equities, whatever they desire. They know you're not going to ask for the money back. In fact, when it comes to an end, you will reload your Starbucks wallet for a week or a month. Starbucks created a business based on borrowing money from customers at no interest in exchange for a cup of free coffee once a month. Isn't that brilliant? Starbucks is not a coffee shop. It's a coffee shop that also happens to be a bank. It can simply lend that money to someone else at interest and live off the interest it earns. Since it pays no interest to the people who lend the money to Starbucks in the first place, with the exception of a free cup of coffee once a month, that isn't the only way the wealthy make money with debt. Banks are taking advantage of ordinary people like you and me. We are the ones who have to pay for decades of student loan interest. We borrow to pay our bills, yet the banks mainly benefit the wealthy. Banks provide as a source of passive income for the top 1%. Consider yourself a wealthy individual, such as Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg. You've got this tech firm worth hundreds of billions of dollars. You may own 10% or 20% of the company. On paper, you are a billionaire, but if you sell those shares, your net worth will plummet. You can't do it since it will simply destroy the stock price, making you poorer. So how about putting your company's profits to use? Nope, you can do it as well. Your company may earn billions of dollars, but that money must be reinvested back into the business. Otherwise, you'll be hit with a 30% corporate tax. So, what do you do as a tech CEO with billions of dollars in stock? You approach a bank and request $50 million. Instead, the bank will pay you $100 million to buy a private jet, a yak, or a number of supercars. In exchange, you will provide the bank with your shares as collateral. The stock is still yours. If you are unable to repay your debt, the bank can only sell them to recoup their losses. So you're good as long as you pay the annual minimum interest payment. Because you are considered to be a high net worth individual, the interest on your loan will be very low, and the chances of you going bankrupt are very slim. That is why, despite their wealth, millionaires borrow money to purchase their pricey goods. Mark Zuckerberg obtained a mortgage to purchase his Palo Alto house. Elon Musk borrowed money to purchase his opulent houses in the Bay Area. As the value of your stock continues to rise, you keep borrowing more and more to finance your extravagant lifestyle while paying the bare minimum in interest to the bank. And when you eventually earn a profit, oops, your tax rate will be substantially lower since you can deduct all of this interest from your tax payment. That's all there is to it. Finally, this is probably the most practical option for the majority of people. You go to a bank and tell them you want to borrow $500,000 to buy this incredible property. The bank will want a 20% down payment. You borrow $400,000 at your $100,000 interest rate and purchase the property. This property is now rented for X amount of money. You invest another $50,000 to refurbish it, add some furniture, and presto, you can rent it for 50% more. The rent will not only pay the mortgage, but will also bring in an extra few dollars each month for $150,000 in rent. You purchased a property for $500,000 and refurbished it to the tune of $700,000. Everyone makes money in real estate this way. It is not the size of a rocket. It's merely the initial cash and the bank's trust in you to provide you that money. You obtain your first property, then the second, and finally the third. My friend, you have developed a profitable business once you have 3 successful mortgages behind your bank that provide you cash every month. Banks will gladly offer you millions of money at this stage. If you don't have that type of money, it doesn't work since, unlike real estate, you can begin investing in the stock market as well with only $1. That's all for today. If you liked the video, subscribe to our channel Luxe Mindset, and don't forget to hit the bell icon.